Hello, this is Natsuya Uesugi, and I have a pair of scissors today. Not to talk about cutting, because that's something that's, people do struggle with that. But I have a little ritual that I want to do every time I go to the hospital. And I spent all of yesterday, 24 hours overnight, in an inpatient location because, well, I needed some extra support. And I spent the day with other people with mental illnesses, and there were nurses, and there were doctors, and there were social workers, and you got an armband. And so, what I usually do when I like to save all of my armbands. They're all different, they have different information on them depending on how it is. They all look different, and I keep them to make sure that I have a record that at that moment, because you can go to inpatient in a behavioral health, mental health facility either voluntarily or involuntarily. So if you go voluntarily, you are checking yourself in and asking for help. Involuntarily would be, say, you're schizophrenic and, you're having an episode, or say that you're manic depressive and in a manic episode or something like that, or even PTSD and having like a total flashback panic attack. And, if you are potentially harm to yourself or harm to somebody else, sometimes they can do involuntarily put you in inpatient, that way, and then that's kind of, there's a petition for you to go in. So that's usually somebody else outside of you. So here's an example. Say you're the son and you have a parent or something that's concerned about you, and say, I don't know, let's pick something, opioid addiction, just pick that. And what they can do is, say the parent would petition the mental health, or, it's depending on the process, it's different for everybody. And different countries have different processes. But, if you're in a state where you could be overdosing and harm to yourself, they can petition to put you inpatient so that they can take care of you, and they can also make sure that you do no harm to yourself or harm to other people. And so, I use the example of opioid addiction because that is something that's very pervasive, and with these blues and fentanyl stuff that's running around right now, I mean, we need to be really careful about that. That's another reason why I write Grit Scan, and that is why the pack rats in the neuroscene, which is a class 5 narcotic in the story that controls, it's a psi-inducer drug that controls psychic energy and vibration, which I in the story call CODIS, and the Aegis is a manifestation of psychic power. So I just wanted to give that to you because we were talking about opioids. So I write about that extensively in the Grit Scan series because opioid addiction is no joke. And it's not a human failing, okay? It's like diabetes. It's like high cholesterol, okay? It's like I need to wear eyeglasses today. I actually had to read something and had to put glasses on so that I could see. But what I wanted to do today, there's two things I wanted to do today. So that, and I wanted to cut off my armband. And I wanted to do this live on camera so you can see it. Because I was inpatient for 24 hours yesterday. And luckily I got discharged back to myself. So you can be discharged to another location. So say you're in an inpatient temporary facility, you get discharged to rehab. Or say you get discharged into the care of, a clinic or something like that, or to a social worker or something like that, and so those kind of things happen. But this is me. I'm wearing a shirt with Dream. It says Dream. And right now I'm going to cut this armband off my arm, and then I'm going to say goodnight. So here we go. see what's the best way to do this. So, if you are having any type of issue, mental health or not, my soul has a cold, my recommendation to anybody, and I understand because I have to go through this every day with PTSD and anxiety and bipolar and schizophrenia, a whole bunch of stuff. I have to do that, go through that every day. And sometimes you're fighting a battle with your own inner demons. And I know one of the things that I always have is I have low self-esteem based on a lot of the stuff that I've had to work through. Now, I've been working on it, and I'm still working on it, and I have more shadow work to do. But you wake up every day, you get to see the sun. That's another opportunity to win your little battle with your demons. You know, and I think it's important that you never give up. And I think it's important that we make sure that we understand, that depression is real. PTSD is real. Okay? Anxiety attacks are real. OCD is real, autism, ADHD are real too, as well as dyslexia, but that's not the point. The point is, mental health is a big deal, and I spent all 24 hours yesterday in a mental health facility with other people just like me. And I was given an armband. I quite like it as jewelry, but I keep them all to remind myself that I reached out that day and I asked for help. And someone ended up helping me. And for that reason, this bracelet is 24 hours worth of life. And so I will keep my life no matter what happens. No matter who hurts you, no matter what gang stalky spiritual warfare throws at you from the graveyard witch, or spiders. But not the point. The point is, take care of yourself, take care of your neighbor, and try your best. I know it's hard. I know it takes a lot of energy. Especially if you have a mental health illness or thing that you're dealing with. But make sure every time you cut off your wristband, that's another day that you get to see the sun. Namaste.